Think about this. Most of our reactions to situations on the road are dependent upon our ability to see things. At night, our visibility is greatly reduced, making the crash rate higher than that of daytime driving. Why is visibility reduced? To begin with, our normally wide field of vision is narrowed to only the field of view illuminated by our headlights, the headlights of other vehicles, and road lights. Our depth perception, color recognition, and peripheral vision all may be off their game at night. With these not working as well, you may miss hazards on the road. That's why it's important to stick to your normal scanning routine at night. What's more, the pavement lines indicating driving lanes are harder to identify in the dark. This is especially true when roads are slick. When possible, use your vehicle's high beams to help with visibility when there are no streetlights. But remember to switch back to low beams as oncoming cars approach. Speaking of headlights, one of the most dangerous aspects of night driving is one that we can do little to control: blinding glare from oncoming drivers. An immense amount of research has been conducted about glare and night vision, and research has shown the same startling conclusion. When your eyes are hit by a bright beam of light from an oncoming car, you'll likely have visibility issues. Drivers can be affected by the oncoming glare of headlights as far as 3,000 feet away. If you feel you won't be able to see after a car approaching you has passed, slow down and try not to look directly at those headlights. Looking at the white line on the right shoulder for a second should also help you avoid being blinded. Common errors when driving at night include driving the same speed as you do in daytime conditions. At night, you need to drive slower because it takes extra time to identify risks. Some states even have reduced speed limits at night. Difficulty identifying lane markings, especially when making turns. If this has happened to you, continue to practice driving at night to correct your lane placement. Another common error is that you may think your vision is better than it actually is. If you have vision problems, you may not notice until you drive at night. For this reason, make sure to have your vision checked regularly. Driving when you're not aware of your state laws. If you have a learner's permit or a restricted driver's license, be sure to check your state's graduated driver licensing law before driving at night. Many states prohibit solo driving unless accompanied by a licensed adult. And many states have curfews that control straight until you regain control. Hydroplaning can also happen on roads that are rutted from wear, where low areas frequently hold water. Rain. In rainy conditions, turn off cruise control. Ironically, on rain or snow all windows, mirrors, and lights on your vehicle before you start your trip. This will avoid ice flying off the car, which could pose a potential hazard to other drivers. Be cautious of debris flying around, especially from the roof of large vehicles. Be wary of bridges and roads that ice over quickly. If you get caught on an icy hill, try using your car's first or second gear. These gears are generally labeled D1 or D2 on an automatic vehicle. Pack and store an emergency kit in your trunk or cargo area with items you could use in the event of a roadside situation. Include items like water, protein bars, and a flashlight. Tailor it to the weather in your area. Maybe you'll never need an ice scraper or a battery-powered fan. Add or subtract items from the list that you know you'll need where you're traveling. Although these tips will help you navigate the storms, the safest advice is to avoid driving. In rural areas, you'll have the potential for special challenges. For example, you may have to suddenly brake or reduce your speed when you encounter livestock or other animals. Or you may come across a slow-moving vehicle, such as a farm vehicle or horse carriage. Situations such as these are why speed management is so important on country roads. Another reason you'll have to manage your speed closely is because the terrain is challenging with its blind curves, steep hills, and narrow bridges. And these unpredictable roads can get more dangerous in wet or foggy conditions. So it's best to never exceed posted speeds and to slow down when conditions are bad or visibility is reduced. Something else to consider is that different types of road materials may affect your driving. Gravel roads present their own special road safety challenges. The issue is traction. Driving on loose gravel is harder than driving on pavement because your tires don't have the traction needed to give you stable control. Throw speed into the mix, and you have a formula for trouble. Construction materials, weather, traffic volumes, and vehicle weights can change a gravel road's condition very quickly. That's why it's so important to approach a gravel road with caution each time you encounter one. It's a good idea to give yourself a wider space cushion on country roads because you never know what's beyond the next bend. It could be a fallen branch or a bicyclist. Since wildlife is more active at dawn and dusk, increase your space cushion